Hello and welcome to my channel Champagne and Stitches. My name is Sarah and this is Floss Tube number 9. So it's been a couple of weeks since I was last here and I have 6 whips to share with you today. I don't have any new starts or any finishes. But before I show you what I've been stitching on, I would just like to say a huge thank you to everyone who has subscribed in the last couple of weeks. 2 weeks ago when I was filming my last video, I had just gone over the 200 subscriber mark. I was very excited about it. So I was saying I'd been on 199 for a while and that it had just tipped over into the very low 200s, and unbeknownst to me, that was because Michelle from Mama Loves You GB had given me a shout out on her latest video, and that meant that lots and lots of people came to watch my channel, and my subscriber count just kept getting higher and higher and higher, and now I'm actually heading towards 1,000 subscribers, which is absolutely, well, firstly it's ridiculous that that many people are watching my videos, but also it's amazing, so thank you very much. I would also like to thank Stuart from Stuart in Stitches, who also gave me a shout out. I know a few people have come over from his channel to check me out. And there's been a few other people who've given me a shout out as well in the last couple of weeks. So thank you very much. And I will gather my thoughts, get myself more organised, and I will talk about them in my next video. But for now, I hope that you enjoy what you see and that people keep joining the channel. It's amazing. So thank you very much. Anyway, let's get on with the stitching. So my first stitch that I'm going to share with you is this one. It's always a little bit unruly. So it's here. It is Pandemic from Long Dog Samplers. Just pop it on the table. It's probably the easiest way. So this one I've been stitching for Andrew, the runner stitcher, who is doing whip into shape while he trains for his marathon. And I chose to do Pandemic because, quite frankly, I have been ignoring it. So I thought it would get some stitches into it. So for every mile that Andrew runs, we put 10 stitches into something. So this is a couple of weeks progress. I think I've done a little bit up here, but mainly work down here. And what I noticed yesterday is that actually, I hadn't realised this, but this is just this one rotated and there'll be another one here and another one here. But I've made a mistake somewhere here, so this is not correct. So I am going to have to take that out and re-stitch. I've got to work out first. I couldn't see where the mistake was yesterday when I was looking at it, so I am going to have to just sit down quietly, have a little think, and re-stitch that middle bit. So this has had 270 stitches for his first week of running, and then 271 stitches for his second week. So what's that, 541 stitches, something like that. And actually, I think I'll probably make quite a good bit of progress in this one while he's running. So keep up the good work, Andrew. And hopefully we'll get some progress with Pandemic. I think it's sitting around the 2% mark now. And I'm using a 16 count Ada from Lakeside Needlecraft and a rainbow silk from Silks For You. And what I'm actually quite enjoying is learning how to use the silk, the variegation in the silk to get different effects. So for example, this one, when I stitched it, stitched down, and sort of you get the colours coming down. This one I sort of went to stitch this way, and before I had done this part of it, so the bit that I'm covering up, I had this big yellow blob that I really didn't like very much, but actually once you sort of stitch around it, it's okay. I like the way it blends in, so I just need to try and sort out that problem there. But this is a Pandemic from Long Dog Samplers, and stitching this one for the Whip into Shape Sal. So that one is my first whip. I'm just, tell you what, put it over here, out of the way. So my next one, you see every time I film, is Hawk Run Hollow, a year at Hawk Run Hollow. So obviously stitching these blocks once a month. So we're on the June block. Last time I had finished the May block and I haven't started the June block. So I'm pleased to say that actually I have made quite a good start on that one. So this is where we are at the moment with it. So I'll show you the whole thing in a second. But so this is the June block. So what have I done? I've started on this. I'm just going to work my way across. I decided that rather than trying to count the stitches accurately, what I've found is it's much easier to put the border in as I'm stitching across. So keep filling more bits of the border in as I go across, and then I can count off it to work out where I'm going to put all the bits. So just working on him at the moment. Really liking this little flower sort of border that's on it. So then we've got her big boofy skirt, which will take quite a bit of stitching. So just keep on with that. I've been stitching on it most days. I think that's probably going to help me get to the end of the month and have it completed. So this will be halfway there by the end of the month. So that's the whole thing. Actually really pleased with this. So there's a lot of stitching in that. I'm definitely going to have it finished by the end of the year. That is the goal. So just keep on keeping on with it. But that is a year at Hawk Run Hollow. That is being stitched on 32 count linen from Cedar River Linens in Spindrift. So that is my year at Hawk Run Hollow. My next whip is the Lola Crow Extraordinary Birds, which is here. So I think the last time I showed you this, I had done the stalk and I think it's Bird of Paradise. And I was very excited because the blue-footed booby was coming. So I've managed to get him in there. He is quite splendid. So, and also the third drop, which were these little birds here. So these are all quite dangerous birds apparently. I couldn't tell you what any of them were, even though I do have to find out which ones they are when I'm stitching so that I know which ones the back stitch relates to. But so that is the first three features all completed. And then yesterday, the fourth feature came out, which is a cassowary who's going to be here. So absolutely loving that one at the moment. And then I think next week we've got a week off. So we've got a week to catch up. So it's not quite so much pressure. It's a bit of a bigger drop this week. So I think it's just over 1,000 stitches. That'll be fine. Get that done. So that is Lola Crow's Extraordinary Birds. Coming along nicely. This is on an 18 count Ada dyed by Megan of Coffee Craft Fabrics as well, and using the called for DMCs. So that is my third whip. So my next one, this one you haven't seen for a while. This is the Peacock Pin Cushion by Cottage Garden Samplings. This is the one that I tend to stitch in my car before I go into work. So just while I'm waiting for the time to go into work, I can get this one stitched up. It stitches up very quickly, actually. So I was I got to here. So this week I've put this, it's not a wing, is it? Feather in here, and then started to come down here. I could have got a lot more done, but on one of the days I left my glasses at home, so I actually couldn't see to stitch. So and I'm hoping, I've just got down here to go, and we've got about 5 more weeks of school now until the summer holidays, so this one hopefully will be finished before the summer holidays. Then I shall be able to choose something else to take in the car, but really enjoying getting back to this one, actually. So like I say, it's a nice easy stitch. Again, this is on a just check the label, 28 count even weave from Megan, Coffee Craft Fabrics again. So I bought this as a kit from her with the Call for DMC and I think 1 week's dye works, fabric, pattern and a needle minder, which has fallen off. So that must be in the bag somewhere, safe and sound. But that is my Peacock Pin Cushion from Cottage Garden Samplings. Racing on through these. Right, the next two were my Whip Go calls for May. So these are all complete. So the first one was Leave Me Alone, I'm Cross Stitching by the Witchy Stitcher, which was a Patreon for her Patreons last year, but may be available for general purchase now, I'm not sure, but lots of people were doing this one. And I think I've got to a very apt point here, because now it just says, leave me alone, I'm cross. So I'm sure sometimes I could just pull this out, leave it like that, be fine. So what have I been stitching on? This one was, I was doing 100 stitches a day on it, alternately with my other Whip Go call, which we'll come to in a minute. So I think when you saw it last time, I think I'd done most of the top bit. So I've definitely put some of these words in, done a few little bits here, maybe finished off the bats. I might have been about halfway through one of the bats before. This needle minder is from Needle Minders UK, I think. Something like that. I shall put it in the notes. And fabric again is from Megan at Coffee Craft Fabrics, where I get probably most of my fabric from. So this one's going to go away for a little bit now, but I've really enjoyed putting in the 100 stitches a day. So in May that sort of equated to, for half the month, 1,500 stitches. Actually got quite a lot done on it, so moved it forwards quite a lot. So that was my May Whip Go call, all completed. And then my other May Whip Go call was this one, which was TRex and by Silver Creek Samplers, and same thing, 15,000 as if 1,500 stitches in the month. So I was doing 100 stitches every other day. And this is where we got to by the end of it. So when you saw this last time, I had got as far as the, I'd done the Rex and the cups and the teapot on this side. So the last few days was just filling in the big cup, I think that is, on this side. And then we're going to get to the dinosaur. So quite a lot of stitching in there. And again, really enjoyed how much this moved on, actually, just doing 100 stitches a day on it, because I got most of this part in, so got lots done on it. Pleased with that one. So that is my TRex from Silver Creek Samplers, and I'm stitching it on Atomic Ranch fabrics in a 28 count Lugana in weathered stone using all the cord 4 DMCs. So that was my 6th and final whip since I saw you last. So as I say, I didn't actually have a new start. I was going to start Seaside Tiny Town. Is it Heart in Hand, I think? So, but I haven't started that yet. So that is still on the cards. So if we talk about my plans, obviously I may start Seaside Tiny Town. I've certainly planned to start it in June. So hopefully I will get going on that one. All the usual. Keep up to date with Lola Crow's Extraordinary Birds. Finish the June block of Hawk Run Hollow and hopefully finish it in good time and not still be stitching it, you know, frantically on the 30th of June. Because as much as I am now enjoying stitching it, there was a time where I really wasn't enjoying it. But now I am enjoying it. I don't want to be stitching it every single day. I'd quite like a little break from it. So hopefully I will get that one done in good time. I'll be able to put that down for a little bit. My whip go calls for June, I haven't picked up either of those yet. So one of those was the Historical Sampler Company's pot sampler, to stitch on that one. And the other one was the Artsy Housewife, Study in Nature. So to get that one to 10%. So I will start those soon, get those out of the way. I think they'll be quite easy targets. And then depending on how much time I've got, I guess I will stitch on anything that takes my fancy. So that's about it today, really short one. So say I only filmed 2 weeks ago, so it's only 2 weeks worth of stitching. Again, I mean, thank you so much for, sorry, I've been distracted by something that's going on with the camera over there. Thank you so much for subscribing, if you've subscribed recently, and thank you if you've been with me since the very beginning as well. Thank you for sticking with me. If you haven't subscribed, I would love if you would think about subscribing. Get me ever closer to that 1,000 subscribers, which would be amazing. And I think that's about it. So yeah, thank you ever so much, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. Short and sweet today. Bye.